Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. 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 Good evening. Happy Monday. I pray that you all are well. I pray that you all have had a fantastic and a fabulous day. I pray that you had a great day. I pray that this evening, while you are winding down, that you are feeling your best, that you know that you put forth your greatest effort on today to obtain the goal that you desire. And here's the thing, if you didn't put forth your greatest effort on today, to obtain the goal that you desire, guess what? The night is not over. It is still 8:40. What is this? 8:47. So I always say this. There is always an opportunity for you to do or to take one step in the direction to get you to where you desire to be. And although it is 8:48 on the East Coast or whatever time it is where you are, today is still an opportunity for you to make one decision that will get you closest to your ultimate goal. So for those of you all who do not know me, my name is Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women turn their purpose, their God-given talent, into a profitable business, all while overcoming mindsets that will prevent profit, progress, and prosperity. I am so grateful that you all have decided to join me on tonight. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Transformational Mondays, where I'm all about providing you all with content and simple strategies so that you can shift your mind so that your life will be shifted and transformed as well. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you text this link out to about 2 or 3 people. Would love for you all to. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight's topic is one that is near and dear to my heart because one of the things that my goal is to be honest with my transition and my journey of entrepreneurship as much as I desire to. Okay. But one of the things tonight, we're going to talk about the effects of starting and stopping. Again, tonight, we're going to talk about the effects of starting and stopping. Good evening, Dalton. We're going to talk about starting and stopping. So I want you all to put a 1 in the comments if you have ever been guilty of starting a project but not finishing it. Starting it and then stopping it. Maybe writing the book or having the idea of writing the book. You may have started, but you never finished, right? You started the business. You may have formed the LLC, but you never did anything else with it. You started posting on social media, but got discouraged because you weren't seeing all of the feedback, all of the effects that you desired to. Maybe you started the business, continued the business, but after everybody bought something, you heard crickets and you were like, dog, you just felt discouraged and you didn't know what to do. So tonight I'm going to talk to you all about what are the effects of starting something and not finishing it as it pertains to your purpose. I'll be totally honest with you all. Good evening. As you all come in, make sure you subscribe to my channel and text this link out to about 2 or 3 people. Share. Especially if you know that they have been guilty of starting something and not completing it as it pertains to their purpose. So I'll be honest with you all. I remember when I started my business, I was so excited. I wanted to help women. I wanted to make sure that they got the transformation that they needed in their mindset. And I started and I stopped. And I'll be honest about why I stopped. Well, I stopped because I got scared. I became fearful of what the responsibility of leading people to a transformation would be like. I also stopped because I wasn't seeing the effects at some point even as I continued in the way that I wanted to see them. And I just got discouraged. There was no one along the way that told me, look, JaNee, you're not going to always see the effects in your business that you want to see in the time that you wanted to see them. And especially social media is so inundated with how I made six figures in 6 months, how I obtained 10,000 followers in 10 minutes, right? I'm exaggerating, but it's the truth, right? We see all of these massive and quick results, and nobody is telling a lot of people, I'm not saying nobody, but a lot of people are not sharing the journey that it took for them to get to that place. I'm gonna give you all an example of somebody that I've observed. So more recently, I saw someone on social media talk about how they made so much money within like a short period of time. Now, me knowing who this person is, I understand that they have been in their industry for some time. They have worked with clients for some years, and they're very, very known in their industry, right? So of course, what the title of her post was like, how do you make, it was something like, how many of you all want to know how I made X amount of money in short amount of months, right? And it was an attention grabber. But for the person who does not understand nor comprehend what entrepreneurship is and what building a business looks like, they would feel crazy, or they would feel like something is wrong with them when they set out to move forward in their purpose and build their business and not see six figures happen in a year, or not see money come in within the first month or the first couple of months. One of the things that I truly understand is that building a business is very much like building an infrastructure, very much like building, I want you all to picture it, whether you stay in a home or an apartment. One of the most essential parts of building that structure is the foundation. And I've talked about this on more than one occasion. The foundation is what ensures the stability of the infrastructure. You want your foundation to be strong, and you want it to be able to withstand blows and winds and rain that comes its way. So one of the things that I learned about when I research foundations is that the taller your infrastructure, the deeper your foundation needs to be. I'm going to say that again. The taller your infrastructure, the deeper your foundation needs to be. Good evening. The title of my talk is the effects of starting and stopping. So when you talk about foundation, anything that needs to be built, one of the longest parts of the process is building the foundation, because whatever is being built will be built on top of the foundation. So it needs to be the strongest part of the building process, and it takes a little bit longer. So what am I saying? Two things. In order to build a thriving business that everybody sees, you have to go deep on working on yourself. So you're going to do the greatest amount of work on, not on your business or selling to people, but working on yourself. You need to work on yourself. And that's one of the parts that a lot of people do not share. One of the greatest parts and aspects of your business that you will work on is you. Because here's the thing, you want to be the strongest because you are a part of the foundation of your business. So tonight I'm going to share with you all the 3 effects of starting and stopping. What happens when I start the book? What happens when I start writing the song? What happens when I start building this business and I stop midway and I don't complete what I started? So number 1 is this, and I have my notes here to keep me focused, okay? If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So number 1, what are the effects of starting and stopping? Number 1 is you lose momentum. I looked up the definition of momentum, and one of my favorite definitions of momentum is it is the strength or force gained by motion or a series of events. Again, one of the definitions of momentum is the strength or force gained by motion or a series of events. So this tells me quite a few things. Number 1, momentum, just like a building, is built. It is built. Momentum is gained, and it takes work to gain momentum. It takes work to build momentum. It takes a series of actions to build momentum in your business, right? But here's the thing about momentum. Once you get momentum started, it's very challenging to stop it. Because you got to think about it. If we're talking about, let's just say, um, a ball, and I'm trying to think about what collects, right? So let's just say the ball is rolling down a hill, right? It may start slow, but the more it goes down the hill, the faster it gets. Right? So momentum is built. It takes work. It takes a series of events. So if you're looking for effects in your business, if you're looking for, if you're seeking to profit from your purpose, understand you're going to have to build the momentum in your business, meaning that you're going to have to do some work. There's going to need to be some motion, and there needs to be consistent action. Not, I do a whole bunch today, I go on a live marketing frenzy, and then you stop because you don't see the results instantaneously. Or you start the first journey of the momentum of the marketing frenzy, and then once you get all of the clients and customers that you desire into your business, you stop marketing. Let's think about people like McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart. I thought about it one day. I said, these companies have been around for years, okay, for decades, yet they still advertise. Yet they still make sure that they have paid advertisement during Super Bowls. They make sure that they sponsor certain events. Why? So that people will always see their brand in the forefront. If you're using your phone and you know that you're like a fast food person or whatever, guess what pops up on your phone? An ad for some type of fast food restaurant with the goal of drawing you into their doors so that they purchase. That company, I'm sure, may have been in business for years. Why do they do it? Because they want to consistently have that motion and those series of events that draws customers into their business. The same thing holds true for you. If these big companies know the power of advertising and marketing and getting their brand out there consistently over decades, guess what? This is one of the things that you have to master. And it may not be on that level yet. It may be picking up the phone and talking to people. It may be pitching yourself for podcasts. It may be pitching yourself for to companies to come in and talk to their people. It may be getting trade shows. It may be whatever it is. It's a series of events that leads to an ultimate result. So if you're talking about profiting consistently from your purpose, you have to make sure that there are a series of actions of marketing, of advertising, of getting your brand out there in the forefront, in front of your ideal clients to draw them in. Okay. Number 2 about momentum. Momentum results from a consistent focus on a goal. I want you to think about if you've ever ran a race before, or if somebody was running a race. I love track. I never ran track before. I wasn't an athlete, right? But I love track and field. Like, I got so excited about the Summer Olympics, right? That was one of my favorite parts of the Olympics, right? So they start at the starting line, right? With the goal of seeing the finish, depending on the distance. Their goal is to get to that finish line, right? They're not looking up at the audience when they're running. They're not looking up and seeing who's looking at them. They're focused on their goal, right? And when that gun goes off, the only thing that matters is them putting forth the effort to get to the finish line. The person on their left doesn't matter, nor does the person on their right. They're remembering the consistent action and the activity of exercising, of lifting weights, of practicing daily and hours on in and on out. They're thinking about the times that they neglected time with their family so that they can build just for these couple of seconds, just for this moment. So the only thing that matters is them winning that race. So when you think about building momentum, your focus needs to be on whatever the goal is. It needs to be on the finish line. If you set a goal to make a certain amount of money within a specific period of time, you got to ask yourself, does this make sense for where I am anyway? And you don't let up until you see the effects of it. You may give yourself a break. You may take some time to regroup, but you don't give up, even if you don't see the effects of it. Okay? So remember that momentum results from a consistent focus on a goal. And your goal could be at this point losing weight, savings, obtaining new clients, and so forth. But you don't let up on that consistent focus until, and even when you get to the finish line. Let's just say you have set an income goal for your business this month. People who are successful in entrepreneurship and very successful at generating income consistently, they do the consistent action that will consistently produce the results. They don't stop. They may create systems that they can put on autopilot that will continue to drive results and drive income into their business, but they don't stop. Okay? They may take a break, but they don't stop. The number 3 thing about momentum, just like a train, and I want you all, if you have ever traveled, whether it's by train or you have been in an automobile or you may be a truck driver, I want y'all to think about, I remember when I was a little girl, we used to go to Mississippi. That's where my father's side of the family is from. And we used to drive from Miami to Mississippi. And you cannot imagine all of the semi trucks we used to see on the way. And my dad had a white Lincoln. It was what they used to call the stinking Lincoln, right? And my sister and I used to peep out the back window of the Lincoln. And we used to get those semi truck drivers to pull their horns. We used to do like this in the back seat, right? But one of the things that I know and I learned and observed about semi trucks, just like trains, is that it took them forever to speed up. It seemed like it took them forever, especially if they had a stick shift, especially if it was a manual. Oh my gosh, it seemed like it took them forever to gain speed. But baby, once they pick that speed up, just like that train, ask it to stop on a dime. Pump the brakes hard if you want to. You're going to cause that semi truck to, jackknife. Once it is, hi Kim, I think that's Pennsylvania, right? Hi Kim from Pennsylvania, thank y'all for joining in. So if you think about a train or a semi truck, it's very difficult for them to speed up quickly. But once they build that momentum, it's very difficult for them to stop. If you are pursuing your purpose and your goal is to profit from it, which I know that you are sure to do the necessary action steps consistently. And I promise you, just like that semi truck, once you build the momentum, once you get that one client in, I'm actually talking about starting and stopping, but the effects of starting and stopping as you build your purpose. So once you get that momentum started, it's very difficult to get you to stop. It's like once you get that first client in, all of that work that you did leading up to that seemed like was mundane, seemed like it wasn't working, seemed like people may have not been paying attention to your posts. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all are posting on social media, you'll be surprised who is looking and reading your content, but not responding, not commenting, nor reacting. Don't get discouraged if you don't see people commenting, if you don't see people liking your post. I remember a couple of years ago, I was listening to Patrice Washington. And she's a phenomenal podcaster. She has a successful podcast and she's very consistent with it. And I remember her saying this. She said people pitch her to be featured on her podcast, right? But she said one of the things that she would do, if whoever pitched her for her podcast, she would then go to their social media page And she would then look at their social media page. And what she said to me, it has stuck with me all of these years. She said, would you believe people who pitched my podcast? This is Patrice Washington saying this, that I would go to their social media website that they publicized, and they had no content, no consistent content. So her mindset was, if you're not consistent in building your own platform, how do I know that you would be consistent when you come onto my platform? How can I trust that you will provide solutions if you're not providing solutions on your own platform? So don't be surprised nor discouraged if people do not provide you any feedback or any comments on your content on social media. A lot of the times people are just seeing what you're doing. A lot of the times you never know who's watching what you are doing. I remember some years ago, people were telling me that Tyler Perry would go to YouTube to find people to be featured on his movies. I'm not sure if it's true, but on his movies as well as his plays, right? But think about for the people who always showed up on these platforms. Think about how it yielded all of that momentum, all of that work that seemed like nothing was happening for their big moment. Okay. So number one, when you start and stop, you lose momentum. You lose all of the traction that you gain from all of the work that you have done. So make sure that you continue it. And here's the thing. Once you lose momentum, one, it is very, very difficult to rebuild. Why? Because majority of the time when people lose momentum, it's because they've gotten discouraged. It's because they've gotten distracted and they've lost their determination. The discouragement comes from not seeing the results that they want to see in the time that they want to see it. The distraction comes when you look on social media and you see what everybody else is getting, or looking at the reactions of everybody else posts. But here's the thing, the people that you are seeing that are getting the responses, a lot of the time the people put in the work. A lot of the times these people have already put in the work and gained the momentum and maintained the momentum. This is why they see the results that they see. So once you gain momentum, once you keep that series of events and all of the things that are necessary to drive traffic into your business, make sure you maintain it. Continue to do it even if you don't see anything happening. Number two, the effects of starting and stopping. Number two, it prolongs your results. Whenever you start something and then you stop, the moment you stop, you set yourself back. The moment you give up, you set yourself back. It's just like the person who's running a race. If they stop mid-race, and here's the benefit for them, they get to see the end goal. But if they stop mid-race, they only prolong the time it would have taken for them to get to the finish line. So number one, don't give up when you don't see the results. I'm going to say that again. Don't give up. Let's just say you're posting, you're sending out emails, you're pitching, you're doing all of the things. You've been to trade shows, you've spoken on stages, and you're not seeing the results that you want to see. Let's clarify, first of all, what the results are, and let's make sure that the results that you desire in the time that you want to make sense. Okay? But number one, don't give up. Okay? Instead, ask the question. The Bible tells us we have not because we ask not. Ask yourself the question, why am I not seeing the results that I want to see? So before you decide to give up, throw in the towel, say this ain't working, identify why it's not working. That's the first thing. Be relentless about figuring it out. One thing that I've learned on my journey about entrepreneurship, you're going to learn a lot about figuring stuff out. Excuse me. Be determined to figure it out. Even if you don't see the results that you want to see, be determined about figuring it out. And once you identify the cause of why you don't see the results that you want to see, make the change. And here's the thing, if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. Don't be afraid to seek the help that you need to get you further along than you desire to. And I'm going to put this plug in there. A lot of the times we're trying to be all things and do all things by ourselves. Just like you have a gift, somebody else has a gift that will help you along the way and save you a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. Do not be afraid to invest in your purpose, to invest in your gift, to yield you the results that you desire. So as an example, one of the things that I'm not a fan of is like the tech behind the scenes, building the thank you for the hearts, building the website. That's not something that I get excited about. I don't get excited about making a PowerPoint and decorating it. So what do? I ask somebody else to do it. I'm great on the content. I can put the content on the slides, but the designing, not my thing. So what do? I pay somebody to do it. I pay somebody. What does that do? That gives me more time to focus on being who God has called me to be and do what he calls me to do. Don't be afraid of investing in yourself to save you more time. A lot of the times people are thinking they're saving money, but they're actually wasting their time. I always tell our children that you can always make money, but you can never buy your time back. One of the things that I've learned about successful people, and when I say successful people, people who are successful in entrepreneurship, in their brands, in their industries, they are not ashamed of investing to get their time back. So they identify the things that they don't want to do, that they can pay somebody to do, and they pay somebody to do it. And guess what? The other person may do it even quicker and better. And guess what? You get your time back, okay? Number 2, so always identify why it's not working, regroup, tweak some things, and improve, and do it all over again. Number 2, once you stop, you'll have to start all over again. So refrain from stopping. If you must, take a break. Because I believe in heaven and grace, not grind nor hustle. Like the hustling days, they can have it. That's just not how I believe God wants me to build my brand. Okay? But once you start, and y'all have experienced it, you may have started losing weight. Think about where you would have been had you not given up on walking 30 minutes every day. You would be so much further along than you are right now. So I want you to think about that. Once you stop sharing who you are and what the solution is that you provide, you have to start all over again. You don't want people to ever wonder, well, is he still doing that or is she still doing that? You want to always be up in people's faces. You want to always have your content out there. You want to make sure you're always present as much as possible because you don't want to have to start again. Again, once you lose momentum, it's very difficult to regain because the majority of the times why people stop whatever it is that they're doing is because they're discouraged and they lack the determination because they're discouraged, because they're disgruntled, because they didn't see the results that they desired to see in the time that they wanted to see them. Okay? The third thing is, here's the thing about prolonging your results. Okay? And this is what I want you to think about. And this is something that I think about often. This is what keeps me going. One of the things that keeps me going. For those of you all who have ever planted a seed, and I'm almost done, you plant a seed in the ground, and you make sure it's in the right environment. Good evening. I'm talking about, just in case people are wondering, I'm talking about the effects of starting and stopping. So you put the seed in the ground, You leave and you come back tomorrow. Do you see a leaf pop up out of the ground? You leave and you come back a week from now. Do you see a leaf or a plant or anything pop up out of the ground immediately? No. It may take weeks. It may take months, depending on what the seed is, in order to reap the harvest. But guess what? That doesn't stop the right farmer from making sure that they water it and take care of what they put in the ground. I want you to value your purpose so much that you never stop watering it, that you never stop working on yourself, that you never stop posting, that you never stop sharing your content, that you never stop moving in your purpose, because you know eventually, just like that seed, something is going to sprout out and it's going to yield a harvest. You don't determine, so to speak, when the harvest comes necessarily, but guess what will prolong it? You. The moment you stop, you set yourself back. It's okay to rest. It's okay to regroup so that you can restore, because I'm big on that. But stopping because you don't see the results will only set you back. And lastly, one of the biggest effects of starting and stopping, why are you doing what it is that you're doing? I always talk about purpose because I always go back to Jeremiah chapter 1, where God is telling Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb of your mother's belly, I knew you. So God knew what he wanted Jeremiah to do before he even gave Jeremiah eyes, ears, and all of the things, which lets me know that God values the reason that he created us. He didn't ask Jeremiah to be a prophet. He didn't make a suggestion for Jeremiah to be a prophet. He told Jeremiah. Whenever someone makes a statement, a period comes behind it. He wasn't asking Jeremiah for his feedback, although Jeremiah provided his feedback. It was all about providing the transformation that the people that Jeremiah was going to speak to were going to need. Your purpose, always think about your purpose being the solution to somebody else's problem. Your idea is a solution to somebody's problem. Your gift is a solution to somebody's problem. You are the solution. And the effect of starting and stopping only prolongs the transformation of the people that you have been called to serve. I want you to think about a song, a message, whatever it is, and you think about it and it gets you hyped, it gets you encouraged, it gives you that to keep on going. And you know how it made you feel, or it makes you feel every time that song comes on, in a good way. Well, what if the person didn't write the song that makes you feel so amazing on the inside every time that you hear it? What if the preacher or the encourager didn't deliver the message because they were too afraid, or they didn't see the results that they wanted to see in the time that they wanted to see them? Perhaps you wouldn't have gotten the transformation that you desired if they didn't show up. I want you to think about your idea and your purpose and your gift in that same way. The moment you continue to show up, somebody is going to get a solution to their problem. But the more you stop, you prolong their transformation. And this is one of the reasons why God created us, so that we can be the solution to somebody's problem. So don't be selfish. Don't quit. Regroup. Identify, what is it that I need to do to tweak, to improve before you give up? How can I improve this? What is the reason that I'm not seeing the results that I want to see? Instead of giving up, identify where the problem is. Identify where the problem is coming from. It's just like a leaky pipe. The pipe may be leaking, but once you identify the source of the leak, guess what? You can stop it and the water flows freely. So instead of stopping, identify why you aren't seeing the results that you want to see. Regroup, restore, and get started all over again. I appreciate you all for joining me. Again, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click the link below and get your free gift. As always, I appreciate you all. And remember to know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye.